I was minding my own business when I saw this. Aurora Summit 22, featuring keynote speaker Dr. Tamitha Skov. Oh, this is really interesting. Justin Anderson, Dr. Mike Shaw, Vincent, John O'Neill, Dave Faulkner, Mary Beth, Steve, Jeannie. Where is Red Cliff, Wisconsin? Winnipeg to Red Cliff. How long does it take to get there? 7 hours and 57 minutes? Hell, I do that in a storm chase and then some. Wisconsin, here I come. So I hit the road and I ran into some nasty weather, which only got worse. Just kidding. That's a whole other video. I'm in Wisconsin and I rented a place. I'm a master of finding places. I have the entire house to myself. Okay, let's go explore. Hello, 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 hello. There's no one here. You could rent a room next to me. Okay, let's go in here. This is nice. Oh, there's cookies on the table. And they have chocolates. Okay, I'm liking this. I must admit, it's very strange being in someone else's house all alone. It's like the bloody shining around here. Here's Johnny. Finally arriving at the hotel, I decided to take a look at Lake Superior before dark. I wasn't thinking about the Aurora Summit at this time. I was thinking about the SS Edmund Fitzgerald and the storms of Lake Superior and the 29 men who lost their lives. There were waves averaging over 23 feet by 7 p.m. and over 25 feet by 8 p.m. It was in November, this very month. On the way into the summit, I met a fellow countryman. That's my friend Donna. She's from Manitoba. Oh, yeah? All right, let's go in and meet the panel. From left to right, we have Justin Anderson, Vincent Lavina, Tamitha Skov, Christian Harris, Mary Beth Kaczynski. Unfortunately, I arrived Saturday evening, but I was still lucky enough to catch some of their excellent presentations. Here is space weather scholar Vincent giving a clear and concise view into space weather. And next we have Justin Anderson, admin of Manitoba Aurora and Astronomy. Did you know you can book a trip with him to see Aurora in Churchill, Manitoba? And finally, we have our keynote speaker, space weather physicist, researcher, and public speaker, Dr. Tamitha Skov. Why does space weather matter? Let's listen in.
This was DirecTV. Okay, this is from radio blackouts. So DirecTV was gone. I don't know if you can read this, but it says interferencia solar. That's all they give you is just a blue screen. This is the CW network, the reverse beacon network, which is Morse code, which is the most robust of all amateur radio communications in analog. Okay, so basically it needs the tiniest amount of bandwidth to work. This is why the military used it for so long, and it's still used for secondary communication. Notice on the day side, nothing, right? So this, what you're about to see is a movie. This was a movie made for me by a ham radio operator in the UK, and he did this. You can see all these ham radio, these are all contacts, okay? And what you'll see, this little dot right here, this is noon. Okay, and on the back you'll see right here, you can barely see it because this projector isn't super great, but this is the what we call the gray line, which is the day-night terminator. So basically when you see this thing, you'll see it's kind of slightly darker on this side. That's the nighttime. So you'll see that rotate, and you'll see how the contacts change. So basically every line is a contact. The different colors are different frequency bands, but that's not as important. What's important is watching how the contacts change over time. So you see there's lots of contacts going on, and then we had a very large solar flare. And watch what happens. Oh. Do you see the daylight terminator? Day side's all gone. The hurricane watch nets were so dead for that entire week. And yet Irma was still decimating. They're moving toward the Keys at this time. This was September 10th. This was the solar flare that was actually connected to a Carrington-class event.
So as you've heard, space weather and terrestrial weather can sometimes conspire and create very difficult communication situations during emergencies. Let's take a look again at those companies. How about this high-profile example of the effects of space weather? The one on the right, SpaceX. They just had an incident on February 4th, 2022. I'm sure Elon wasn't thrilled to lose 40 Starlink satellites. That's an estimated $10 to $20 million space weather mishap. That's a very expensive meteor shower. So does space weather matter? Oh yes. I like this quote by John O'Neill about Dr. Tamitha Skov's message. She delivered a very intense program at the Aurora Summit outlining how various disciplines need to come together and unite and work together to further the art and science of solar weather forecasting. It was a rousing call to arms. Dr. Skov knows aurora chasers, GPS operators, storm chasers, amateur radio persons are a super community. Boots on the ground, if you will. We need to bring space weather to the forefront for the general public, especially in times of impactful solar activity. Proper space weather forecasts now can increase readiness and awareness to avoid worst-case scenarios. It also helps to end misinformation that the sky is falling. The sky is not falling. It's beautiful. And it's our backyard. Thanks to, from left to right, Melissa Kalin, Mike Shaw, and Dixie Burbank for creating a very special Aurora Summit, where the super community, the boots on the ground, can get together, exchange information, advance the art of space weather forecasting and its real-world uses, and, of course, have a laugh.
Okay,
We found the warmest spot in the hotel.
Yeah,
We needed a
I'm
room.
just for the first time in 2 days feeling my toes and fingers.
We were perishing. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And let there be light. This was my view. If you'd like to stay at the Timber Baron Inn, I've left a link down below. Now, who doesn't like a good bridge? Off I go. I started out in really nice weather, which only got worse. Not this guy again. Just kidding, that really is a whole other video.